All right, welcome back, I guess, for another video. I just wanted to make a little bit more of an in-depth build series on this car. You know, I named the last video like part 1, and I planned on doing more videos along the way, but that shit just didn't happen. You know, life's been really busy, working 60 plus hours a week at my actual job, let alone even getting time to, you know, really make videos, let alone getting time to even work on the damn car. So as of now, the car is 99% wrapped up. It's very close to completion. We've been dealing with a tuner that's out of state in Arkansas, and then myself. So having both of our times lined out this week has been a little bit tricky to get the car fired up and running, and sourcing some little issues. We had a little cam sensor issue tonight. The car, this is the October 27th. We had a little bit of a cam sensor issue today. So to, you know, keep dates aligned here, this is the 27th of October. The car started today for the first time. So if it wasn't for that issue, we would have been doing some idle logs and getting stuff worked out. Not really logs, because he's working with me live through my laptop. So getting some stuff just really dialed in, because, you know, I'm decent with Holly stuff, but, you know, this is my first one really. So I really want to learn first before I go personally playing around, you know, with a fucking $15,000 motor, you know. It's not the best way to learn. So I want somebody to back up what I'm learning or what I'm doing. So, and just really check over everything. So instead of boring you guys to death with my fucking face, we're gonna go ahead and flip the shit around. I'll walk you guys through the car front to back. There's gonna be a shitload of stuff I'm missing, no doubt about it. Like I said, I should have made a video sooner, but, you know, life's been fucking stupid busy. So I'll walk you guys through it. A lot of data's coming on, you know, little shit through the car. Plans changed, shit escalated, no doubt about it. You know, at that point in time, 4 months ago when I made that last video, that half the car was painted, no wiring was figured out, no motor was figured out, no trans was figured out. You know, it was just fucking dick in the wind at that point, you know, trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. So a lot has been done in 4 months, and we've accomplished a shitload of stuff. It's just finishing up the last few little things. So we can start tidying some shit up and get back to fucking racing. So I'm psyched, but let's go and get right into it. All right, so as I'm filming this, the date's the 27th of October. Things have, like I said, changing daily. Life has been extremely busy just in the last 4 weeks alone for me personally, and it's not been because of this car. It's been because of some personal issues and some work-related stuff. My hands have been tied for fucking a hot minute now. So my time has not been dedicated to this car as much as I would like. Otherwise, it would already be done, and we'd probably be racing right now. But with the way 2020 is going and everything, it's not really been a huge concern to really, you know, to get going, because the events I want to do, a lot of them have been canceled and whatnot. So it's not really like, you know, I was really wanting to get this car done for Mod Nationals, and Mod Nationals not even up. You know, it was supposed to be in November, got canceled anyway. So that was the real goal that I wanted to be done for. But there's no point in even rushing it anymore. But like I said, the car is very near completion. And as of when I made that video about 4 months ago, shit, I mean, the motor's plans changed, the blower plan changed, the cage plans changed. I mean, everything's changed. I mean, the entire interior, everything's different. The ECU that's in the car, the wiring front to back, everything, it kind of escalated. It all grew, and it got to the point where you see the car now. I mean, shit got out of hand quick. In a good way, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's still a stick shift car and still a blower car, and for the foreseeable future, I don't see any of that changing. We do want to do some rowdy stick shift stuff with this car, and push the stick shift GT500 stuff pretty damn deep. It's already pretty deep by BPS right now at 853, and, you know, I'm not saying I'm going after that car or anything, but you know, it's in my sights. So that's what I would love to, you know, have. But it's a long way to get there. You know, I'm more of a let the car do the talking, so I'm not really going to claim anything, and we'll see how fast we get there. But you know, the main goal here is to go 8s, and we have a car that's well capable of going 8s with a stick shift, trapping 160, 165 plus right off the trailer, with the setup that's in it. So we can just go ahead and start front to back. I don't even know fucking where to start, but since the last time I think you guys saw it, the car was not painted, or it was painted, but it didn't have the roof painted yet. The interior was not even close. No wiring was in the car. We didn't have a motor plan yet. We were still planning on using a VMP at that point in time. We didn't know the Holly route. We didn't know the trans route. So, you know, 4 months we've accomplished a lot, but I'll go ahead and dive right into it. So first off, we have a MHS built 5.4 long block. Me and Jordan assembled this motor. You know, big props to Jordan. He taught me a lot in the process of building this motor. He actually let me in on the build process and essentially just pointed fingers and let me build this in his assembly room. So alongside of him while he was building other motors for customers. So we spent about a week on that, and you know, in that week I've learned so much on just mod motors and actually assembling a complete long block. So I'll forever owe that Jordan for sure, no doubt about it. But it's a factory GT500 iron block, 20 over, factory crank. It's got a kinetic crank stud in it. Molnar power outer rods, JE pistons, spec'd in a 9.5-to-1 compression ratio. Stage 2 ported heads, CNC ported heads by Jordan. It's a pretty badass long block, but it's nothing crazy. I mean, it's still an aluminum, or still a iron block. It is not a aluminum block. So we have extra weight there, and it's not a complete race motor by any means. I mean, this is a very normal motor that most GT500 owners would build, aside from a few things. And those are being like this car, if you look at the valve covers, those are 03, 04 Cobra valve covers. If you know anything about mod motors, 03, 04 Cobras came with 10mm primary chains for the actual cams, and GT500s came with 8mm. So this helps, you know, when you're on a hard limiter, you know, you're banging off a hard limiter, or you're on the rev limiter a lot, or just chain maintenance. It keeps chains a lot more together compared to some of the stock 8mm stuff, which GT500s are known to break. So it's got the full 10mm conversion from AccuFab. Their guides, their billet guides, all their chains, secondary chains by AccuFab as well, their tensioners. So it's got the full AccuFab conversion. Everything's kind of been powder coated and cleaned up where I can kind of clean it up. I got to tuck some wires and stuff like that and really dial in some few things. But we've been working on getting the car started the last 2 days. Actually, the car just started tonight. We have a bad cam sensor in it, so I'm working with a tuner that's out of state right now through a thing we're getting done on. He's out of state. He's from Arkansas, actually, so he's been helping me a lot, dialing a few things and figure out a few issues that we've been dealing with. So I'm trying to not lose my train of thought here, but it's got, obviously, bad motherfucker up top, Whipple 3.8 Gen 5. This is the brand new one by Whipple. Whipple's on board for the new combo this year, so it's pretty badass to have. This one's been race ported as well. We're going to be doing all kinds of data, 275 to 4-inch pulley, figuring out, you know, what this thing's capable of. I mean, I don't even know. A lot of people are going to ask so many questions, but it's got an MFP crank support, 15% lower. It's got a factory core, 3/4 inch lines to 1 inch at the firewall, 1 inch lines all the way back to the P&R ice tank in the back with a EMP pump flowing it. We're going to test the stock core first before we put a aftermarket core, whether that be JE or J2 or a VMP intercooler core. So both those companies are coming out with cores, or do have cores already out. And there's been some rumors, some bad rumors, some good rumors, some good data, some bad data. I mean, obviously, if you followed along Andrew's build, there's a lot of people that are like newly subbed to me because of that car. And the videos that we made with assembling, whether it be assembling his entire car, which I did from pretty much the long block to the Ben Calmer in his car to the rear end, and then we did a 3.8 Whipple last week on his personal car, the red one, his red GT500, and that car had a VMP core in it, and we found some issues with that, and we changed it back to a factory core, and since those issues have been resolved, so this car is going to keep a factory core in it, and all data, to track some data and see what we can do with it before we change to a aftermarket core. I'm not opposed to putting VMP's new alliteration core in it to try it, 'cause supposedly it's much better. So that or J2 fab score. Got a BPS single belt drive. I didn't note on that as well. So it's got rid of all the accessory bullshit. You don't need it for where we're headed. MFP crank support. That's the new one. They just, MFP just made. So it's a really nice piece. I don't have the actual main snout on the crank yet, or the auxiliary piece, which is right. Shit going everywhere. This piece right here that goes off the crank, I haven't actually mounted it to the crank yet because I just haven't had a chance to get to that point yet. But a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. These are all custom fuel lines, regulators mounted over there. Got a cable driven throttle body. It's no longer drive-by-wire. I made a custom throttle bracket. This goes down past the secondary firewall into the car. I'll note on that more. Brake booster, all that shit's gone. End up changing some of the brake stuff. Even since the last video, made all that shit's new. A lot of stuff I just gotta tuck. This is the line lock. I have to wire the water pump. Just tracking some little issues. Like I said, we fired the car today. We had a cam sensor issue, and that cut the night short. Otherwise, we were gonna do a little bit of base map tuning on this car to get it prepped for the dyno here shortly. But that's where we started at. As far as else, the car's got a T56 Magnum in it. I don't think I really ever noted on that. I don't really remember. It's already in the car actually, so I wish I could post more, but it's a T56 Magnum out of the box with an RX T1200 diaphragm, regular, like it doesn't have a crazy clutch in it, no slipper clutch or anything yet. We're just using that as a, break-in and to get some numbers on the car and get the car dialed in first off before we do any kind of crazy clutch in the car. We'll move right along, show some of the interior. It's very, very dirty, so a lot of things need to be tidied up. All these wires that I'm about to show you guys, they all need to be loomed and gone through, but you need to track stuff first and make sure everything's the way it needs to be before you start tucking and making harnesses. So it's all loomed, it's all wired, everything's proper lengths. It just needs to be loomed and then tucked under the carpet, which it will be. So I really need to figure out some of the dash stuff yet, but it's got a Holley Pro Dash sitting up there. It's a powered off a Terminator X sitting in there, custom made brackets, sitting on a carbon fiber panel sitting inside there. It's a Leash electronic street strip board. This powers the entire car, all lights, everything. To make it really simple here, or to show you like a little bit, I'm not gonna do anything crazy. Nope, battery's unhooked. So I got the battery unhooked tonight, so I forgot about that from the tuning, but I'm not really gonna touch too much onto that. That's what powers the entire car. Like I said, it's still got an 8.5 certification, and I think that I showed this the last time. I had to make some dash pieces and clean everything up front, but let's go to the back. I gotta get a light for the back because we're doing it live. Fuck it. No cuts here and shit. But we'll get some light in the back here. This is a carbon fiber deck lid, optic armor glass. It needs to be cleaned. So this is not actual glass. This is fucking Lexan. A little bit of weight need to come out anyway. The car's gonna either get retinted or get Lexan. Chose Lexan. Had it out anyway for paint. It's very dusty. Ignore it. Car needs to be cleaned. A lot of stuff needs to be cleaned in here. It's got a battery tender sitting there on top of the ice tank just because I had the car charging for some tuning shit. That's the battery box itself, P&R ice tank, EMP pump. All these wires need to be loomed. This is the fuel cell. Feeds, goes down to hard lines, which run to the front of the car. Just a lot of stuff's got to be a little bit cleaned up there, but once it's all done and dialed in, then we'll know more. But it's just making sure everything's the way it needs to be and running in working order first before we go making it extremely, extremely pretty. But I think in the last video I was going to note some of the car, there's some carbon around the car. I had Anderson composite carbon doors. I had like $3,000 wrapped in those bitches. They came here, and when they got here, they had cracks down the center of them, and I could have fixed them, but At that point, I would have had to paint the doors, and you know, I'm not gonna. If I got a $3,000 set of baller ass carbon doors, I want it to look fucking sick, right? You know, I want to leave them exposed carbon. So the shit show with that was, it was a shit show with Anderson themselves. I mean, I would still do business with them, but I got my money back and shit. But they essentially didn't want them because it cost too much to ship them back. So they literally just maybe cut them in half and then send a photo to them. And then I finally got my money back. But the issue with that is they didn't have another set in stock to buy. And at that point in time, they were like a 2-month wait, which they now have them in stock again, but I've already got the doors painted. So it's like, what the fuck, you know? It's like, I mean, yeah, I would like to have the extra 80 pounds off the size of the car, but the car is already going to be pretty light now. I'm not really sure. I have an idea. I have a very, very good idea what the car is going to weigh, but I want to know more before I really say it. It's light, but it's not as light as most people think. I mean, it's not in the 2000s or anything like that. I mean, it's still an iron block car, and so that adds a little bit of weight with a cage and shit. So I have a number in my head, and we'll see how close I am to that, and maybe I'll put that in the next video or the dyno video or some shit. I don't know how many videos I'm really gonna make on the car. You know, Andrew's gonna be making some videos on the car too. So I don't know how much I'm gonna push YouTube stuff. A lot of people seem to like say like, hey, yeah, like make a YouTube video. I mean, I've had probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 DMs or so asking for more content, just making videos on the thing. And if I already have like 150 subs, all those are from, you know, working on Andrew's car. So yeah, I don't know, gained 100 plus subs from not even making videos. So I guess I should make a video, right? But this is where we're at. Like I said, we'll have the car actually dialed in this week, running. There's a lot of little cleanup things we have to do, and just a lot of little things to really clean up and spice up, and then it's ready to get this bad bitch on a dyno, figure out what it's gonna make for some power. We're gonna run into limitations with the motor before we'll tap the blower out. I mean, people know me, I usually like to, we crammed 31 pounds through a stock long block, and that was because the cams were so restrictive. So being that this has L&M NSR cams in it, and, you know, a badass set of flowing heads, it's, you know, cramming 30 plus PSI through this thing, it's going to make 1300 wheel, and we're going to be on the edge, well past the edge of the long block, or what we would rate the block to be safe at. So I could go into a ton of detail, but I don't really want to melt my mind because it's already been a long week. So I'm trying to think of how I should say some shit, some proper. So if you have any questions, just, you know, drop them down in the comments below, and I can get into more detail there. There's a shitload of stuff I'm leaving out. I know, no doubt about it. But I'm trying to think before I end this bitch. BMR suspension front to back, custom shaft masters drive shaft. Still got a spooled 8.8 315 rear gear. Probably gonna change the gear in it. I don't know if we'll go up to probably 355. I still want the car to be able to trap 170-ish or so in the top of fourth. So with a 355 on a 28, that should be ideal. Probably be like 175-ish at the top of fourth, which would be like 7,200 RPM. We'll switch back over to a 28. It's on a 26 right now. And yeah, as of now, get this bitch on a dyno, make 1,200, be happy with that for now. Take it down the track, run an 8, and then we'll start getting rowdy with some claims. But as of now, that's the goal, and that's where we're headed. So if you got any questions, drop that shit below, or just hit me up on Instagram, Cody54. You know, it's all the shit's in the description. So I'll leave a little list of shit down there, but deuces.